Hello, everybody, and welcome to the HQTA podcast. That's hard questions and tougher answers. I am Sean, and I'm joined by my round table of hosts, Ethan.
Hey, guys.
And Eric.
Hi. I'm excited to be here.
All right, so in this podcast, we answer questions that are hard and give the answers in the tougher category.
That was quite possibly our most awkward intro yet. Nicely done.
Probably write this shit down. All right, we've been babbling on and on about this and that. Let's just cut to the chase. I got a question for you boys. There's a lot of questions nowadays about social structure and where everybody fits in. So I just have to ask, would you rather be in society, living, having all the attributes of a vampire, or being a person but covered in Nazi tattoos? Discuss.
Run that by me again. So your question is, would I rather have the qualities of a vampire?
Yes.
What about the Nazi one?
You're a person, but you're covered in Nazi tattoos.
Excellent.
So let me get this straight. Sorry.
You go ahead.
So let me get this straight. If I'm a vampire, I live forever.
No, you're a person, but you have the attributes of a vampire. So
Okay.
you don't live forever, but all the little quirks and rules they have.
Right. So all of their weird things, none of their powers.
Right.
So, be a little bit more specific. What exactly are these attributes of a vampire?
Okay, so
they're like pale.
typical stuff, yeah. So basically you're living at night, sunlight, UV light burns you very badly. You have we'll say a very bad allergic reaction to garlic.
A stake through the heart would kill you.
Yes, correct. That's typically with biological beings. You have some kind of mental trigger that happens when you see like a cross in front of you. You always have to be invited into people's homes. You can't just walk in on your own.
Can't have a reflection in the mirror.
Yes, you can't see that. You do,
Whatever
but
I
you visually, you psychologically can't see this.
Right.
Yes. So you have a lot of weird mental stuff going on.
So on the
And
other
physical
hand, Nazi tattoos. So are these Nazi tattoos?
Yeah, where are they?
Yeah.
Can I cover them up? Are they visible normally?
Basically, it's kind of like a Yakuza. So you got the full body, full sleeves. You got some on your knuckles, up on your neck. So your plain face is fine, but virtually every other part of your body is covered with. You got Hitler and Himmler on your biceps and all that stuff. So
Excellent.
So we could get by in society with both of these things. In the vampire thing, we could work a night job, work the graveyard shift. The Nazi tattoos, we could essentially wear a lot of clothes.
But on your hands, like if you had SS on your knuckles or something like that?
You could wear gloves and still survive in society, right?
yeah, if you can find a way. Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of turtlenecks.
Exactly. Yes.
So like you said, swastikas, all kinds of awful, terrible things.
Yeah, swastikas, the war eagles, everything. You got some panzers, going across your back in an epic scene. You got like a line of like SS soldiers marching across your stomach. Just the whole gamut of Nazi war propaganda all over you.
So the other interesting thing I would like to point out is that in both scenarios, there is a very particular social niche in which we could fit in quite nicely.
Potentially.
I mean, no. I mean, truly.
Well,
like,
you have
in
the
reality,
neo-Nazi society these days.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you got the cult following of that. So, yeah, you can fit in there, and then obviously they're still surviving and thriving. So, I mean...
Not that anybody would want to be associated with such a group of people. But, worst comes to worst, you're not going to be 100% socially outcast.
No, you'll find a little clique.
But do you want to be known for socializing with neo-Nazis?
But the thing is, if you want to stay in your little clique and not venture out too far, like you find a job that's just all neo-Nazis or...
I believe there are camps for those.
I think you could survive pretty well as a neo-Nazi because, I mean, Yeah, the skinheads are doing it all the time these days.
Boo. I want the weird as vampire quirks.
So you're gonna explain to your family and friends, you're gonna have to get all your friends are gonna have to be, in this scenario that you're proposing, all your friends are gonna have to be neo-Nazis. Any girls or lovers you're gonna have is gonna be neo-Nazis. Your children are gonna see you covered with Nazi stuff.
I don't see a following of weird ass vampires going around.
Well, that's the other thing.
You're gonna get all the teenagers, the Twilight and all that stuff, you know?
Those aren't the vampires with the real qualities, though. I'm legit. It ain't gonna be too many more people like me.
The other thing about being a vampire or having all the vampire's weaknesses is that would elicit a certain degree of sympathy. Whereas neo-Nazi tattoos is going to do the exact opposite. People are going to hate you. People won't just hate you because you can't come out in the sunlight and because you're a little weird.
I've left out probably the largest thing. Sorry to interrupt. But you do need to drink blood.
This changes things. But
also, before I was rudely interrupted, I was going to say that I think there's a profound fear for people having, a fear for vampires. I think there's like a nice little phobia about that, and you have somebody lurking around in black stuff and then wanting to chomp at my throat and suck my blood and can't see reflections and garlic.
Yeah, but that would be kind of weird.
And there's no fear of Nazis around. You're right.
So, the thing about the vampire thing is you can pretty much keep it a secret. The neo-Nazi tattoos, you really can't. I mean, eventually somebody's going to find out that you're covered in racial paraphernalia.
How can you not hide
propaganda
that you're a vampire? Your skin's all pale as crap, and then you're wearing black stuff, and
right, because people don't notice you because you blend in and B, you're only out at night. And then you just kill an innocent person and drink their blood and leave their body for somebody to find. And then you move on to the next town.
You're not arrested for this?
I think that would be kind of cool in a weird way. People wouldn't hate you.
Yes, they would. They're coming at you with like fire and pitchforks eventually.
You could be a little celebrity though. I mean, I don't know about the killing people, but you could be a medical marvel, the real life vampire. So I think there definitely could be benefits, perhaps celebrity status or social status to a vampire if you would like to play that angle.
Like going around on one of those circus things? You're like in one of the freak shows?
I don't know about that. Just not, walk around the nightclubs, man. You all dark and mysterious, And then, you're all brooding in the corner. And
when the dust settles at the nightclub and it's closing time, 5 people laying on the floor because they've got their blood.
You don't need to kill. You need to drink blood. Okay, you don't need to actually kill people.
They won't turn you in for that. It's like, this dude back here, the creepy one. The pale one over there. Yeah, he just like chomped at my throat and sucked a couple liters out.
Listen. All I'm saying is, you need to ingest blood, okay? You don't need to kill people or suck it directly from the source. I'm just saying that it's like a third category. You need water, you need food, and blood. There's different ways you could go about getting it.
So there is a condition called Renfield syndrome in which people have an obsession with drinking blood.
Well, yes.
So the question the question for me is, does this have to be human blood? Did you specify?
Yes.
That spices things up a little bit.
Okay, so it has to be human blood. And then there's also a condition called porphyria, in which a human individual very closely resembles that of a vampire, in which they have sharp pointy teeth and very pale skin and thin hair. It's kind of strange, interesting fact. But anyways, I'm sticking with the vampire thing. I think it'd be kind of cool secretly. I wouldn't mind killing somebody every once in a while.
Sean said you didn't have to kill anybody. You just have to ingest their blood a little bit. Suck a liter out.
Even better.
I think Eric just wants a reason to kill people and blame it on something.
I'm
a vampire. Get over it. I need that blood. So you'd be okay with never being able to go out during the sun. You have extreme restrictions on your diet and all of that.
Over being covered in Nazi tattoos, yes.
All right, so Eric seems to have his mind made up. What do you think, Ethan?
I don't know. I kind of had a stigma, like when I was at a hotel months ago, and I was, at the bar drinking, and the bartender had, what is it? The Warmock or whatever. Is that what it's called? Yeah, whatever that is. The eagle.
Yeah.
And he had the tattoo on his like forearm. I'm like, well, I clearly know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like you get a.
And he looked over at you, and he's like, "You'll do. You're good with me."
Yeah, you kind of do a double take on it, or you get your emotions in check. But then he was cool and whatever.
Right.
So
you're just gonna be like that. He's cool. He's covered head to toe in Nazi shit, but he's all right. You going for that angle?
I think that's exactly where I'm leaning to. I think I'll go with the Nazi tattoos.
So you be covered in Nazi, just be a Nazi sympathizer.
I didn't say that. I'll take being covered in Nazi tattoos, but I didn't say I was a sympathizer towards
you're covered in Nazi tattoos.
Maybe it was a drunk dare, or I passed out and they dragged me to
a tattoo parlor for 48 hours straight. They just went wild on you.
It was a long night.
All Hans Gunter there was like, "Oh, I'm going to cover him with the tattoos."
It was borderline alcohol poisoning. I was out cold for a while.
All right, so we have a split decision here. We got Eric wants to be a vampire. Ethan wants to be a neo-Nazi through his tattoos.
Break that tie, Sean.
Ooh. I hate answering my own questions. Part of me thinks that it'd be easier to go about day-to-day life covered in Nazi tattoos. You just be covered in head to toe, wear gloves or something, or even if you don't mind all the dirty looks you're going to get, or just hang around selective people and maybe just explain to your friends and family that that's just the way you are now. Over being a vampire and having to live at night, drink blood, be a little bit of a freak, but then I think you could play that celebrity status a little bit. That's what's getting me. So I think if you just want to live a normal life, I think it would almost be easier just to deal with the Nazi tattoos. But if you want to try to get a little bit of fame going on, a little celebrity life, I think I'd go rocking with the vampire. So I'm slightly leaning vampire.
That's right. This could easily, you just said it, this could easily be turned into a rock star kind of celebrity.
Yeah, if you play it right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty dead even question here. So once again, up to you listeners. Y'all can help break the tie too. As always, let us know your answers to this hard question. Would you rather live in a normal society with all the attributes of a vampire, or just be a regular person but covered head to toe in Nazi tattoos? Shoot us an email at hqtapodcast@gmail.com, or hit us up on one of our social media, Instagram, Twitter, handles HQTA Podcast as always. All right, so that was my question. Let's throw it over to Eric. How about you give us a question?
So I'm going to force you guys to put on your creative thinking caps today. Change up the format a little bit. This one's going to be a thinker, very open-ended style question. So tell me, if you could pick anything, what non-traditional, useless superpower would you have?
So just a very small, convenient power that you have.
That puts me on the spot. You try to get my creative juices flowing that quickly. You just draw like a writer's block almost.
Take your time. Take your time.
This is what the wine and beer is for.
Yes. And I've been thinking about this for a little while, and I've come up with a pretty solid answer. And I use the term useless pretty loosely. So basically I'm ruling out things like super strength. And obviously that's traditional, so non-traditional.
I think maybe finding, if you're trying to remember where something is, being able to instantly know where it is. So your keys, remote, someone lost a little trinket. You just have this innate ability to track down where something is. Eric, you're laughing a bit. What's going on with you?
You're thinking outside the box, which is great. I was thinking giant inflatable dick, but whatever.
Right.
Like.
You're assuming we don't already have those, so.
Well, geez, I just called myself out, didn't I? Like when I say giant inflatable dick, I mean something that can. No, this is serious, guys.
He's backpedaling.
No, I'm not backpedaling. I'm pedaling forward harder and harder and harder as hard as I can. When I say giant inflatable dick, I mean like unnecessarily large, celebrity size dick that can be turned on and off like the flip of a switch. Just like that.
Okay.
And you're soft and flaccid and it fits in your pants and everything, all convenient like.
Okay, so it's normal. So you're like the ultimate grower.
Yes. And it can be stopped about midway. So like ideal size, and then inflated to twice that size for the celebrity effect.
There might be pills for that. We can talk about that off air, I guess, if you need.
Actually, as a pharmacist, those pills don't work for people with normal dicks. They only work for people who need them.
Faulty dicks.
Didn't you get some of those in high school?
If you bring up high school anymore tonight, I'm gonna lose it.
All right. So, anyway, we've had, minus the past couple of minutes of Eric's dick fantasy.
Yeah.
Let's
Big
get back
inflatable
to,
dick.
Yeah, normal, small superpowers.
I like how it turned into his question.
I think he just wanted to talk about big dicks.
So
I think that's just a platform. Talk about something that's been on his mind for a while.
he took the mic real quick and he's like, let me talk about big inflatable dicks here real quick.
And that wraps up this episode.
All right, listeners. Oh my god. All right, so I want to say let's get back on track, but we barely got on track. Small time superpowers. Ethan, you got anything in mind?
Well, so you had the ability to find anything. Like somebody questions, hey, where this is, and you find it.
Yeah.
I want to be along the same lines, and I want to be able to fix whatever. The ability to fix or mend or...
That's pretty nice. Like the ultimate handyman.
Yeah, like, you got like, faulty sink. Dear God, I got that. You got a hole in the roof? I'll fix that in 10 minutes.
Nice.
Something like that.
You make a lot of money with that.
That's like a multi-billion-dollar business right there.
Jack of all trades, right there.
Doesn't compare to my multi-billion-dollar dick, first of all. Second of all...
When did it become multi-billion-dollar?
I told you, it's a celebrity dick. So it's like bigger than any celebrity dick you've ever seen. If you've seen them. And
I don't know how many I've seen.
Like you would star in countless adult films. But getting back to Ethan's superpower. So when you say fix anything, are we like talking extreme fixes like rip in the space-time continuum and here comes Ethan and he just fixes it?
No, I don't have those creative powers. We're talking earthly powers. Anything on
house
Earth.
Fixes, car fixes, plumbing.
Yeah.
Those things.
Yeah, maybe some marital fixes. We'll go in that realm.
Well, I'm just a simple handyman, but if you tell me your problems, I'll give it a shot.
Might need that after this episode gets released.
I kind of like Ethan's the best. It seems the most practical. Eric, you got your thing going on. That's great for you, buddy. I assume with my location powers, I could probably be able to do some good with that. Maybe we'll find some missing bodies or something like that.
Sean, nobody gives a shit about your stupid superpower.
All right, do you want another 5 minutes to talk about your giant inflatable dick you wish you had?
I could talk about that all night long.
So seeing that wasn't a would you rather, so there's no tie break involved in that. We just giving
open-ended discussion.
So y'all send y'all's feedback on what superpowers or what non-traditional superhero powers you would like to have.
Awesome job, guys. I think we really delved deep into some hard questions tonight. I think you did a fantastic job. So if you guys have anything you want to add, please feel free to send us an email at hqtapodcast@gmail.com. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.